Well, I thought I'd say some more memoirs. When I was at Wallen Street, I was birdled. Had just had some new equipment from Dixon's in Victoria Centre. Spent about £1,000 worth on new equipment for the bed sit. It was a real horrible tatty bed sit with just a padlock on the door, and I shared with men. It's the only place I could find at such short notice, because my dad just kicked me out. Yeah, so anyway, I was birdled. I reported it to the police, and they came to do fingerprints, like they do. And as they left, they said the only information they'd got is my brother's. They described my brother's friend. They said it was my brother's friend, and I realised it was Paul Thornhill. That they actually threw bricks. They was throwing stones at the bed sit, and he let them in because he knew it was my brother and his friend, and that's the only person that actually had been up to the bed sits at Wallen Street who could have actually taken my items, because there was a big lock downstairs, so there was no way they could get in. I was on holiday at the time when they actually took my items, and once they'd been to do the fingerprinting at Wallen Street, I decided to move out. It was too painful, because I hadn't had the equipment long, and I was heartbroken because they said it was actually my brother. The people in the bed sit said it was my brother, and they also said it was Paul Thornhill, because it was his friend who actually robbed my bed sit at Wallen Street. That's what I was told. I don't know whether they was telling me the truth, but that's what I was told. Also, when I was at Wallen Street, I had a cat called Susie, a little tabby cat, and I couldn't find her. And there was a room next to mine, because I was on the top floor of Wallen Street, and there was one bedroom next to it that was empty. Nobody lived in it. I went in there because I didn't know where my cat was, and I heard it crying from in there. She was a lovely cat. Anyway, so I went in, didn't realise in that room there was no floorboards because it was dark, it was pitch black, it had no lighting. And anyway, I ended up falling through the plasterboard. And anyway, I can remember trying to climb out of it. I caught my finger in between my little finger, and the one next to it has got a scar, and that is due to where I was stuck in between the joists of the empty bedroom at Wallen Street. I can't remember the landlord's name, but he was very cross with me, and said I'd got to pay for all the plaster too. But I didn't pay the plaster. Anyway, I left there. Anyway, as I recovered, I can just remember looking up, and I was bleeding because I managed to get out the room and part the way down the stairs. And I remember looking up to one of my flatmates, and I don't really know much more apart from I was bleeding, so I ended up walking all the way to Bobber's Mill, trying to find a phone to get some help to get stitches for my cut finger. So I was strolling down Bobber's Mill Road, all the way down the main from Wallen Street, trying to find a phone over Bobber's Mill Bridge, and all the phones seemed to be out of order. And then so when I got there, I ended up finding one quite near where Nuttall Road. Luckily enough to get to sort out my hand that was pouring with blood.